Okay, so I watched this. At first off, we had to just say that just be grateful that there is a Virtua Fighter Direct at all. All right, first of all, but they could have showed more, man. Show every character or whatever. They didn't even have to show more characters, but they need to go into some more detail about what exactly they're doing with the new system. It's a new game, so they need to like lay down. Okay, what's different about Virtua Fighter 6 that wasn't in Ultimate Showdown? And basically had to break down the new game system, and they haven't said anything. How vague are you going to be for how long? Nobody wants just more of the same. I definitely don't want more of the same. So if they have something that's a new idea that's good enough that they're making a new game, come forward with it already. How's the game system different? Is Throw Clash coming back? Are they going to be ultimate attacks? And they should. And they need some show-stopping attacks to make the game, streamable. For big events like Evo, we wonder why it's never at Evo half the time, mostly because it's the same thing over and over again, and most spectators just look at it as chop socky. They don't really understand the martial arts of it. So you got to put some show-stopping moves, at least for the ending, to show something that's a definite threat. That's gonna pay off, to end the match. Okay. Every wrestler has a special move or a finishing move, so every character in this game should have a finishing move. And it worked pretty much for everybody else, for Tekken and for even Soul Calibur took it on. So you have to add it too. You get with the flow or quit. Quit all the way or get with the program for everybody else or quit altogether. As far as Wolf, it's cool that they redesigned him because I felt like we were hitting a wall. Because there's very little difference between Ultimate Showdown Wolf and the one in VF5. So I'm glad they made this. They completely redesigned him, and he looks more realistic, more than ever, but still looking like original Wolf. Okay. I remember back in the day, Game Players Magazine was saying when Virtua Fighter 3 came out, like, well, they're trying to imagine what Wolf will look like in Virtua Fighter 6 in the future, being that it gets more and more realistic with each version. By the third version, they're like, well, I can imagine he can be so real he can break through your TV screen when you reach the Virtua Fighter 6. And yeah, he does look extremely real now, and still looks like Wolf. You can resemble it. It looks like the character design in the major ways. Now, I want to see how they redesign everybody else. I want to see what Vanessa's going to look like, what Jeffrey's going to look like, and who's coming back, and who isn't. I wonder how they're going to handle Go, characters like that, what they're going to look like when they finally come out to the next version, and who's not coming back. Somebody has to give, okay? I don't think every character is coming back. People like Lao and Shun probably age out and probably be so old they're probably dead by now. So we'll see how that works out. And just get to the point. They don't have to give away everything with the story, but come on, man, you got to actually give us something here. What is the new game system? What's the draw for this new system? What's the catch? What's the gimmick? Not gimmick, but what's the selling point? Okay, what are the details? It can be this vague. We know you want to be faithful to the original series, but come on, what are you bringing new that you're making a new version? Virtua Fighter 4 had charge attacks. Virtua Fighter 3 had 3D movement and the uneven stages and the walls. People, always shit on Virtua Fighter 3 because it had uneven stages, but those are good, and also it added walls. So the stage became part of the combat one way or another. Like, you only talk about it messing up your combos or extending your combos if it's a slope, but you can just not have that stage allowable in tournaments. That's all. As those normies, people actually play arcade games, which in 99% of the actual customers should have something fun to play with. I mean, Tekken 4, it took it to the wrong way, and it added columns in the middle of the stage. That's a little much, okay? One thing had walls, and the slopes are really slight in Tekken 4, but the problem was it had pillars all in the middle of the stage, so it was just like obstructions. That could be a good thing and a bad thing. It depends on what you're looking for. But I'm saying, in as far as gameplay, when you're playing your friends or whatever, or playing online with randoms, yeah, that's fun. That's fine. But not in the tournament. In the tournament, that would just screw up a tournament. You'd be planning to do X amount of damage with so and so combo, and then it get messed up because of pillar, or you just get killed because of the slope. But I don't know. Tekken went in that direction anyway. If you drive the Steam the heat rush and everything made it a one touch kill. So the slopes made one touch kill in some instances, but still in some instances, if you get hit against the wall, it's a damn near one touch kill. Now, yeah, I would want the slope stages back at least for player matches, for casual matches, because man, it seemed like you're in the environment, and the environment was more real. You know, as far as playing on a flat little square ring in front of the Great Wall of China is better if you're fighting on the Great Wall of China, or instead of fighting with a temple in the background, you're fighting in the temples. You're fighting up the temple stairs. I mean, yeah, that's what kung fu movies were like. So that's why I welcomed. That's why I like Virtua 3. And people try to say Virtua 3 was a worse version. No, it wasn't. Virtua 4 was a worse version. It took out Taka. Where's Taka Arashi? You deleted a whole character. How everybody's just sweeping that under the rug that they deleted a whole goddamn character? That's not cool. That's worse. That's worse than having slope stages, which are optional. There are a lot of flat stages in the Virtua 3, so don't say it was a worse version. It was not. Anyway, I digress. I'll die on that hill. And this, I was at Frosty Falls things, but I was playing for so long. I was not really into playing Ultimate Showdown that much because it's so similar to the old version. It was Revo actually, so I played maybe 5 matches. I mean, I think I won like 4 or 5, and then I lost out. Eventually lost 2. I won 5 and lost 2. So but I wasn't in the mood to stay in there all day, and also by just playing just those few matches, maybe by my third match, I was sweating like bullets, man. I was like, man, I'm not gonna be here all day sweating my ass off at Frosty Frostings. I'll eventually just go back to my hotel, and that hotel was booked up. What Frosty Frostings actually was. My hotel was like half hour away, about maybe 15 minutes, a half hour away, more like 15 minutes. But if I go back to my hotel, I'm staying there. So I wouldn't want to. It was a lot of people playing in Frosty Frostings. I think it's maybe around 300 or something. So I wasn't gonna stay for that many rounds. I don't know. So I'm kind of glad I just played for a few matches and quit. And I really wasn't practicing. Only one person made me start actually stepping up to actually start using tech, like evade, crouch, dash, and crush groove was one person, loud player. I think it was Limey Poker. I don't know, some big fat dude. It might have been like Poker, it may not have been. Maybe the other dude. This other guy is a big fat dude that plays. I think plays Lei Fei, but he wasn't using Lei Fei. He was using Lao. Anyway. I just figured I should participate because, well, they finally made a new version. However, similar it is to the old version. How minimal updates are. Whatever, they made some kind of updates. So I just figured, hey, all right, finally I'll show up and actually go to a tournament because I was kind of done with doing final showdown tournaments. Because it's same old game. Like, man, make a new game, then I'll come out. You know what I'm saying? So, I'll come to the tournament. If it's a new game, yeah, I'll come, right? But they finally did. So now they're making this. So yeah, whenever they make this out, which is probably 2026 at this point, yeah, then I'll come out to the next tournament. Come to the next tournament, whenever that's going to be. It's probably 2026 at this point because like they're just not only showing like the third character. I don't expect this coming out this year. And also, they're making a big thing about Revo. You're putting Revo out on PS5. What for? I don't give a shit. Just bring out freaking what's name? Bring out the new version. We have Revo. Revo's on PC. That's for everybody. Everybody has a PC, I guess, for the most part, right? Only good thing I'm putting on a Switch is it's portable. I might actually get a Switch too now that they have Virtua Fighter on it. Maybe, you know what I'm saying? But not really because like I need to play on an arcade stick. So yeah. Anyway, this is good. Don't look a gift horse in the mouth. Just good news is they're finishing the game. They're actually making a new game. question is how different it is. That's what I want to know, and we're still waiting and waiting to find out. Okay, what's the deal? What are we gonna expect? That's what I want to know. I don't need to see every character. You don't have to show me character reveals for every character because at this rate, how long is that gonna take? 3 years if you can just trickle them out like this? You know, and like 4 months per you reveal one character. I'm like, well, shit. Aren't there like 17, 18 characters in this game? Plus the new next two ones gonna come in this one, the new version. At least two new people. Stella's one. Okay, fine. We saw Stella. Who's the other character? And I hope there's more than two new characters this time around because my problem with Virtua Fighter, it's hard to be interested in watching tournaments unless I know who's playing, the people who are playing. Like when I see the American players, I actually know, like a GT and Adam and those guys playing or whatever. They're playing Himagine. Yeah, I can get into watching that, but I can't really get into watching all the B Tribe Clubs. I don't know these people. For the most part, a few people are still around, like Homestay Akira or whatever. But other than that, you don't know who they are, and so it's like, man, it's the same old damn game over and over again. And a lot of times the matches are pretty, basic. Okay, they're playing mind games or whatever, but usually it just comes down to very little tech being used and just using whatever Final Showdown bullshit is in the game to their advantage sometimes. Depends on who's playing. The only thing I can say about for Virtua Fighter is the tech was never taken out of the game. Games like Street Fighter Five and Street Fighter Six, they took out so much of the tech of the game, and everything's now meter dependent. At least Virtua hasn't become that. So if they add Super's fine, but don't make it a meter fest because that's what I don't like about Street Fighter Six. I like Street Fighter Six to a point, but I also don't like it because it's a meter fest. Everything's dependent on meter. You can't do anything meterless. So that's why I hope Virtua keeps that much of it in the game. Don't go with the route that Tekken 8 went with all the heat rush stuff. Kind of ruined the game. It kind of broke it. So it looks like they're gonna add a boxing character. If you're gonna add a boxing character, they got to do something that no other boxing character has done before.